Hello and welcome everyone. Next thing which we are going to do is the object compare. This is one of the important questions in the interviews, how you can compare two objects in JavaScript. So what are the different ways we have? So we have triple equals, right? Triple equals compares the two objects and check if the reference of both the object is equals or not, or pointing to the same reference or not, right? Here you see A is pointing to the different memory, B is pointing to the different memory, so it will obviously will be false. But once you are done, A equal to B, then what do you think about it? If you do equal to B, then it comes out true, because now the reference is common for both the objects and they will comes out to true. Like you have a lot of properties here. If I talk about only one, and here you have a 90, then let's talk about 80. So how you will compare in such cases? Or there are two objects which look like same, and you wanted to check the data that both the objects having the same data or not. Then what you can do, you can use json.stringify. It will convert this complete object into one single string, and you will be comparing that string, right? So here what you can do, json.stringify. This is the first object, A equal to B. So if you wanted to compare the content in both the objects, then you can do it like this. But whenever you are checking the memory locations and all, then use the triple equals. Triple equals always check the reference if both the objects are pointing to the common memory locations or not. Okay, now let's these are actually this is actually deep comparison. Here it is checking the memory locations. Here this is the indirect way of comparing the two objects. But how we can write our own method to compare the two objects which may have a nested properties? So we need to write our own function. So like function compare objects, okay, and what we need to take the argument, the two objects, right? A comma B, these are the two objects we are taking. Now what we need to do, we need to find out all the properties in the object. Like here we have x and y, y and g, these are the properties. So we need to get all the properties, all properties in the object A. How I can get it? Object dot, I think that is get on property names. So that method is get on So using this method, just pass the object. This is the object prototype method. You can get all the properties in the object A. Like here I have x and y. Similarly, I can get all the props in the object B. Right? Once you have all the properties, you just need to check the length. So first edge case scenario is if A props, because this is going to be an array, A props dot length is not equal to B props dot length, not equal to B props dot length. Here we go straightforward, that it's not equals, then return false. Simple. Okay, if they are equals, then what we need to do, we need to iterate on the length of the props, right? So here I can write a simple loop, I is less than A props dot length. Simple enough. Okay, now I need to get each and every property, like for A props. So what is the property name which we are looking for? The property name is, we need to check that this property exists in the both the objects or not. So we got the A property. Now we need to just check the false scenario and we will return from there. So we have this A object and we are checking for this property. If the value of this property is not equal to B with the same property name, then we got our solution. Here we need to return false. If we come out successfully from here, then obviously return true, right? So this code is just a object compare where we are getting all the properties, iterating on each and every property, first checking the length, then we are getting first property name, right? And we are checking the value of the property name in object A and object B. If both not equals, then return false. Otherwise, in other scenarios, we are returning true. So this is called object compare in JavaScript.